Welcome, and thank you for downloading this week Take Aim Outdoors, the Bow Hunters Podcast. Whitetail hunting stories, tips, and gears from across country. And now, here is your host, Brandon Hammonds.
All right, boys and girls, we are back. Brand new episode, Take Aim Outdoor Podcast. Excited to have this guy back on the show, Blake Garrett from Unfiltered Outdoors, Unfiltered TV. How you doing, Blake?
I'm good, buddy. How are you?
Good, man. Glad to have you back on the show. It's been a while. I don't think we've spoke since probably ATA.
Yeah, it's been a while, man.
Yeah, for sure. But I know you guys got a bunch of cool stuff going on, and one thing we definitely want to talk about is the new Unfiltered mobile app.
Yeah, this is something that we've been working kind of behind the scenes. My good friend John Dittmer and Jeremy Borges, or otherwise known as Worm, those two guys were with Whitetail Fix, as a lot of people know, for the last probably 4 years. I've been with Full Draw for, 4 or 5 years. We all kind of came together and wanted to do something new, wanted to shake the industry up a little bit if we could, and we kind of used all of our knowledge, got a hold of some developers, and we have a brand new mobile app. It's free to download. It's in the App Store now for Apple and Android. Super cool app. The best thing, I guess the big thing about it is you're going to get to watch our live hunt this year. I know Facebook Live's huge. I know Instagram Live is huge, but those are all off of a mobile device, and we have changed our production cameras, the same things we film the TV shows with, to stream live this year. So pretty excited about that thing. We actually get to see how she works this fall. We've done a bunch of tests. We've done a bunch of things throughout the country to make sure we're going to have the signal we need and the length of the satellite, but super excited to be able to bring the viewers hunting right to their fingertips wherever they are. You'll just get a push notification from us that we're live, and you can go and you can watch the whole live stream, or you can wait and we'll send you another push notification when something changes in the hunt, whether it be a rattling session or a shooter shows up or any of that stuff. You'll get a push notification right to your phone, and you can pull it up and watch it live and see what happens anywhere.
Yeah, that's absolutely amazing. So iOS or Apple Store, Google Play, right? Pretty much any mobile device.
Absolutely, yeah. And there's more information if they just check out unfilteredoutdoors.com. That's our website. You can actually download the app from there. It takes you right to the Apple Store. But check it out. It's kind of got some info about it. There's a lot of cool things about the app that really, the live aspect of it's what the big catch is, but it holds a ton of content for us, too. You'll see some episodes from years past that's on there. And we really have, we've been so tied down to 13 episodes, third and fourth quarter. We got to do whitetail stuff. Well, we're a lot more rounded than that. I mean, we do a ton of stuff. I do a ton of fishing in the summer. John does also turkey hunting, all that fun stuff. So it's all on there. If you go into the show category of it, check it out. It's broken down by, big game hunting or deer hunting, turkey, fishing. We're going to have some waterfowl stuff actually on it this year as well. Just a place to go to check out some content from your phone.
Yeah, that is amazing. So I know you were saying as well, Blake, that so basically you can have the app and it will actually ping you or notify you like, hey, something's going on. So
right, yeah.
Legitimately, I mean, I'm assuming that is, if when you have your phone open or on, you get those notifications, right?
Yeah, it's just a general push notification. So just like Facebook, when you get a message or you get someone, you get a like or whatever, that push notification comes through to your phone. It'll be the same exact thing from the app.
That's awesome. So you guys have already fixed all the bugs, basically, you're telling me, and this thing's going to be pretty kind of in its own right revolutionary because you're not using a so-called, mobile device camera.
Correct, yeah. We're super excited about it. We're the only people in the industry doing it right now. I'm sure, as you know, the hunting industry, how it works. I'm sure there'll be more come out down in the future, but for now we're the only ones. We have worked on bugs a lot. One thing, it taught me a lot about apps I didn't realize, but each app actually acts a little bit different with each device, and it actually works better with newer devices than it does older devices. So there's some things in there that we're still playing with. There's so many Android devices out there that it's hard to make an app that works flawlessly for every one of them. Even Facebook hasn't got that figured out yet, and they probably have one of the most downloadable apps there is. But it's something that definitely, they're little bitty, if there is anything that's come up, it's been little bitty things that have been fixed within a day, easily. I guess the biggest thing I would say is always check for your updates for the app, because we have a lot of new things coming, to the point of one of the biggest things that we'll be really close to releasing is commenting in the live feed. So a lot like Facebook Live or Instagram Live, you can comment during the live feed. We're going to implement that on the app as well, to where you can actually have straight contact with us in the tree while we're hunting. So if you have questions, things like that, you'll be able to ask those questions right there, and we'll be able to answer them directly.
That's too funny. That was my next question. So you guys will be able to to legitimately communicate in some form or fashion if somebody has questions.
Correct.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah, we're hoping to have that done before the rut. That's the game plan for it, and we have it now. But there's just some admin stuff I want to be able to do with that prior to releasing it. So we've decided to hold that back until we get it flawless.
No, that's really cool. So on that portion, Blake, would you basically have to set up some sort of profile that say, like, hey, this is so-and-so, so you guys know who you're communicating with?
Correct, yes. There's an actual portion in the app. When you go to the App Store and download it, there's a portion in there that has create an account. I would when does that. We're actually going to also do some really, really cool giveaways coming up. Which one may be I don't want to spoil alert it. I'll give you a little tip. There's a hunt, a moose hunt, that's probably going to be on there for free. We're going to draw from the people who have accounts. So, yeah, definitely log in, register, get your account set up, and that's the way your commenting would come through then at that point.
Well, that's super cool. Yeah, you can't beat that. I'm excited. I'm going to I knew that you guys were working on it, so to speak. I didn't know it was actually in the App Store yet, so I know what I'll be doing when I get off the podcast with you.
Yeah, we just released it full scale this last week. Heartland did a promo video for us, and got it posted up. It's on I think we're doing a giveaway that actually ends today at about 5 o'clock on social media, on Instagram and Facebook, that we're going to give away a covert camera. But yeah, just the videos on there. You can check it out. Like I say, go to the website, unfilteredoutdoors.com. Check out the videos on there a little bit too. It's just a little teaser of what we've done in the past. And there's also all the information for the app. Free to download. That's the biggest thing. We didn't want to put any dollar amount on the app. I always want people to be able to get their content free. So it's free to download. Check it out. Let us know.
Now, when's your first hunt of the year, Blake? So people.
my first hunt. Yeah, I am leaving. Actually, I'm leaving Missouri tonight. Heading to Rust Creek Adventures in northwest Nebraska. It starts September 1st out there, but we're going to do a little bit early and try to get some videos, some deer, and on some pivots and stuff like that. And hopefully get a velvet whitetail down this year. That's the goal. We'll see.
Man, that's super cool. So you're like on your way, basically. You're on your way to Nebraska, basically.
I actually am. I'm actually on the road right now. I have to run to Higginsville to John's taxidermy shop and pick up a replica deer of my buck I killed last year. The whitetail I shot out there last year. I had a replica made that I'm taking out with me so he can hang in the lodge. But yeah, I'm on my way there. I've got to run there and then come back home and then throw everything in the truck and get on the road. So pretty excited.
Yeah, that's super cool. And for those that don't know, John Dittmer's a taxidermist. But tell us a little bit about just the name of his shop and where it's located, Blake.
Yes, Spring Creek Taxidermy. It's in Higginsville, Missouri. And John is one of those dudes that I always call him like a sleeper taxidermist because he does some of the biggest deer, I guess the most publicized deer in the country. He is a phenomenal artist. The stuff he does, and there's actually a live broadcast on the app. We just mounted my 200-inch mule deer, my 190 mule deer from Rush Creek that I killed 2 years ago. He actually mounted it on the app live. We did that last week, and it's so crazy to see him in that process because every time I've ever been a part of him mounting one of my deer, I'm like, there's no chance this is going to come out right. Like it just doesn't, I struggle to see it from the start to the end, but that dude has a vision in his mind and he can make it, come true and come to light, and he just does a phenomenal job. I know he does all of Drury's deer. He's really good with replicas. Made replicas for the world record, the Tennessee buck, and a bunch of other bucks that, number 2 in Indiana, muzzleloader, and a ton of other deer. But yeah, just one of the, hands down, the best taxidermist I know for sure.
Yeah, he's phenomenal. I know me and you shared a story about the Drury's buck, Mark Drury's, was it Bucktober, and how John had 6 days to get it done. Maybe it was longer than that.
Yeah.
It was very quick to get it ready and actually in place at ATA, and to see that deer was, it was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was it was unbelievable. He built that base, that a rotating pedestal and all that. I think it was his Danger buck. I think.
Oh, Danger, that's what it was.
I think it was Danger. Yeah, but Danger. Unbelievable. And that dude, it blew my mind that he could pull that off and get it. He never built that rotating pedestal before or anything like that. And to get it done like that overnight, and it's just unbelievable. But to find a taxidermist that will just I'm telling you, you can't think of something and the guy won't make it come true. It's just unbelievable, the stuff he can do. And he's at the point where I just take him my deer and tell him just to make it look good. Even if he just knows things he can do and what, neat ways to do it. And it's unbelievable to see his work.
Yeah, that's super cool. It's not like you can go and tell him hey, this is my vision. Right. He definitely knows. You probably don't have to say anything to him.
No, I don't. I'm just hey, dude, make it look awesome. And he will absolutely, he does it, he oversees or goes over what my expectation was by tenfold, Crazy.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's super cool. I know he, and I've seen his work, he's beyond talented, and that's why I wanted to give him a little airtime, because he definitely deserves for the amazing work he does. So. Yeah,
and he does a ton. All over the country. That's the thing. There's a lot of times, I know he's done stuff for Gary LaVox from Rascal Flats, and he's taken, mounts down to him and delivered them. And we've moved heads. Obviously, we went to ATA. We brought racks back to do, and he got them back to him. He really, even though he's in Central Missouri, can do mounts from just about anywhere in the country.
Yeah, that is cool. And I knew he was kind of getting to that point too, which is kind of neat to say, neat to even know somebody that is at that level where people from all over and different genres and the music genre, and coming down to get their work done is just crazy.
Yeah.
So what else you got planned after this Missouri trip? I know you pretty much slammed the hunts one after another.
I do.
In, year out. So what do you got going on?
Usually, man, I hit the pavement hard early, and this year I kind of changed my game up a little bit. I leased a bunch of ground in Missouri this year, probably almost 3 times what I normally lease. And I've spent a ton of time here trying to figure out some deer and trying to figure out these new properties. And I kind of moved my hunts around for out of state. I'm going to Nebraska. I'll be up there for 10 days. I'll come back, and then I'm going to spend, the majority of September and October really in Missouri trying to find a good early season deer. And then in about late November, I go last week in November, first week of December, I'm heading out to Kansas, and I'm going to do a late rut hunt out in Kansas, and then probably shoot back to Missouri and try to spend the majority of the late season here. This is the first year I haven't gone on more than just 2 travel hunts, but I really, with the money and the time I've invested here in Missouri and being able to kill 2 bucks here at home, I'm really going to try to key in on killing 2 really good deer here in Missouri and spend a lot of time in the tree here and see if I can't get it done.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did you basically lease extra ground kind of near where you're at there in central Missouri, or did you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's about 12 farms total, and everything's within 20 minutes of each other the whole way around.
Cool.
So, yeah, I tried to make it, pretty simple for me. I didn't want to be jumping all around the state if I didn't have to, and I can just, it's nice because when I go to pull cameras, I'm running a ton of cameras now, and go to pull cameras, it takes me about a day, but I can, usually in six hours, I can run all the cameras and, all those farms together, and it's just a lot easier. They're all right there together. Moving the tractor from farm to farm and stuff like that just makes it a lot easier.
Yeah, it does. I was just laughing kind of at that, to your point, that, for me to go check cameras, it's 6 hour and 45-minute drive, for me.
Yeah.
For my but you know what that's like too. I'm sure you've had situations like that too. But this year, I don't know if I had told you at AT or not, but I had leased a farm in North Missouri, about 3 miles from Iowa. So I'm pretty excited about that. And kind of like what you mentioned earlier, it's hard to beat Missouri in a way because you're getting 2 buck tags, which is pretty rare nowadays.
Yeah, correct. And I tell you what, Missouri has gone through some tough times for big deer over the last, I'll say, 5 years. But man, this year especially, and it's not just where I'm at, but everyone I've talked to this year, it just seems like there is just a ton of really, really good 3-year-olds and up. I mean, just it's really coming back. And it's some of the stuff, some of the credit goes to the conservation for what they've implemented as far as, the 4-point restriction and limiting the doe tags. I think all that helps, but it's been unbelievable how it has really just changed the whole dynamic of what, the deer structure and the age structure has been here in Missouri, and especially in central Missouri. We've had some, some scares with CWD and EHD. But man, this year's it's been really good rain, and we've stayed away from it. And I think that really shows that I think Missouri's gonna, you're gonna see a bunch of really good deer come out of Missouri this year for sure.
Yeah, I hope, and I know that there's a piece of ground right next to my ground in Missouri that's leased by somebody else in the outdoor industry, and I've been told that this is the best year they've ever seen on camera for deer. So what you're saying just, reiterates what they're seeing as well. And I know that, when I came out in June to walk the ground, hang some cameras, and do all kinds of stuff out there, I mean, I saw a deer in June that I could clearly tell was on his way to be 190 to 200, and I was blown away. It was awesome.
Wow, yeah.
So,
yeah, it's definitely coming around, man. This is the best year I've had as far as trail camera pictures in at least 5 years, I know. That's just unbelievable. It's just like that age structure really, has gone up, a year or two, and that's really all it takes to throw some big deer down.
Now, let's talk about strategy a little bit, Blake. What do you do for those farms? You got, like you said, a dozen farms. Does each one in that area hunt sort of the same way? Are you using the terrain, as far as pinch points goes, or woodlots to ag fields, or, what is some of the theme or madness to what you do?
I think overall what I look for when I go to farms is I want a good water source always. So I'm always looking for a pretty solid creek to go through it. Other than that, ag is nice, but there's a lot of ag around here just everywhere. We've got a ton of white oaks and we've got a ton of ag. So that can be tough because your deer spread out a lot. For me, I would say it's the typical game. I mean, when I'm running early season and necessarily late September, early October, I'm going to focus on acorn flats. I'm going to focus on things that, any type of early rut things like that. Those are what I'm looking for the most. I don't really hunt ag early. It's really more about late season for me, and that's where we'll go in when I get back, I'll go in and put some turnips into standing corn, things like that, to where when they're harvested, there'll be some kind of green out there. Those will be places I really try to focus for late season. But as far as, like, the biggest thing I guess I could say is that pressure is what I try to keep minimal on all the farms. When I go into a new farm, I'm running cameras, and I'm usually running them on salt lakes right now, and just trying to figure out what deer are in the area. I'm not trying to focus on a deer specifically. I'm not trying to pattern a deer specifically, because you know as well as I do, in the next week and a half, this deer is going to completely change.
Everything changes.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no reason to pattern a deer or get your hopes up, because I've done that before and been let down, that deer is even going to be in the area. But I want to just know, right now it's mainly, getting onto the farm, getting the mineral leaks out. There's a lot of these farms that don't even have sets on them yet, and I won't hang sets on them until, probably try to get in there and hunt them that last part of October if I can. I really, try to focus on where the deer are, what area they're in, and then I'll go in and just try to see what they do after, this next week and a half, after they go hardhorn, and where they kind of settle back in. Because it seems like, around opening day for Missouri, which is September 15th, if you have a deer there, he's going to probably stay at least through October. So that's really where I'll go in and key in. And like I say, with the pressure stuff, just try to start on the edges and work your way in. There's a lot of times I'll try to think about, easy in, easy out, just to get to my oak flats. And it may not be exactly where I want to be, but I'll start on the edge and kind of work my way back to him. Because if there's a chance you can kill him on an edge with an easy in, easy out, you better take it. You could probably penetrate in and have a better shot at killing him, but you also have a better shot at blowing him out of there, and that's not what you want to do. So just start on the edges, man. Start on the edges, work in, and just try to use all the time that I have and all the cameras I have to try to show me what my next move needs to be.
Now, I agree with you 100% on the edge stuff. Now, do you utilize some of that same mentality, like early season, say, do you hunt a morning? And if you do you hunt an edge?
I don't. I won't. I usually don't set a morning, and this is especially in Missouri. I usually won't set a morning until about the last week of October.
Sure.
And that's really, and the reason that is because just like I talked about with the oak flats and the corn and, and the beans and everything out, those deer are just so active at night, and I just don't know where he's going to be, and I don't feel comfortable enough to go in and hunt him. I would rather go in the daytime. I know, at least in the daytime, I know where he's not, which is in the field. So I know I'm clean going in to hunt him. And, there's certain circumstances that you can hunt a morning, but, man, they're so rare that it's almost a given. I mean, last year I know I didn't hunt a morning before October 25th. And the only difference yet changes to October 25th is because then your rut stuff starts to happen a little bit, and you may be able to pick a deer up in the morning on a scrape. And it's a little less of a food source hunt. But, yeah, definitely I don't hunt mornings early. I don't hunt mornings late. After season, when you're in late season, I don't hunt mornings either, unless I can, find a place that's a bedding area that's way off of a food source that I know I don't have to go through that food source, and it's going to take those deer a while to get back. That's the only situation where I would hunt a morning, early or late, either one.
Yeah, I agree. I was, just curious your approach to that, but it makes a lot of sense. And, there's just a lot to, like you said, you jeopardize a lot sometimes on some of those morning hunts if it's not the right time of year.
Right. I mean, when we go out to, I'm going up to Nebraska for 10 days, I know there's one spot just from going out there. I know there's one spot that I can hunt in the morning that's about, it's crazy, but it's about 1.5 miles off of the pivot that they're actually on. Those deer, it takes them so long to get back. I can get back to that spot. That is the only spot. I mean, there's even spots that are like, I don't know, I'd say probably 1/2 mile off the pivot that those deer are underneath the stand in the morning already. I mean, they just head back. Once it starts getting light, they know it's, there's going to be traffic, there's going to be people. They want to be back in the woods, and they just get back so early that it just doesn't make sense to hunt it. So a lot of our early stuff, even out west, is just you sleep in and get up and shoot your bow, and you're only hunting 2.5 hours a night, really, or a whole day.
Right. Yeah. Or utilize that time to run some cameras or do whatever.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can still go out and scout in the morning. It's not gonna hurt you, but just try to set off of them to where you very well may find a buck that likes to hang around late or does hang around late if you get the right weather. It can happen, but I would say for 99% of my stuff, I just won't mess with mornings because I'm afraid I'm gonna mess something up.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like the cure for EHD or CWD. You'd be a rich man, and if you can find a way to access spots in the morning without disturbing stuff, you'd be a rich man too.
Absolutely, yeah.
Absolutely. I keep waiting for that magical product or something to pop up, the zip line or something.
Yeah, there's got to be something out there.
Yeah, it's got to be something. But now, what time and where can we find Unfiltered at on TV, social media, and all that good stuff? Or, what outlets are we streaming on?
We're going to be, everything that we're doing for this year will not be on TV. It'll be just on the app. And the nice thing about the app, man, it's going to be just go and download it in your app store, and you have it right at your hand. Anytime that we go live, you can check it out. Anytime you want to watch old content, you can just get on it and check it out. Unfilteredoutdoors.com is the best source for information on it. We do have an Instagram page as well, just Unfiltered Outdoors, and our Facebook page is Unfiltered Outdoors as well. Those are probably the two main things that we're using. Instagram we're a little bit more active on than we are on Facebook because of Facebook limiting stuff so much nowadays that it seems like they want you to pay to have just your regular followers check it out. So we really try to stay on Instagram for the most part, so everybody who is interested and is following can actually see what we're doing. Those will be the biggest things. I've used, obviously we're using our personal accounts a little bit too to push some people over there. So my biggest suggestion, I guess, for following and seeing what we're doing is just download the app and you have it right there, and you'll know every time that we're live and where we're going.
Yep, absolutely, and I'll make sure to put that in the notes for everybody so they can link up to those outlets and social media stuff as well. And then, man, best of luck this year in Missouri, and keep me updated, and hopefully we'll hook up again and do an in-season show.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds good.
All right, Blake. Well, thanks so much. And as you know, we are live every week on the Outdoor Podcast channel, podbros.com. Make sure to check out the Unfiltered app, and I'll be watching you, Blake.
Awesome, buddy. Good luck to you, too.
All right, thank you.
Yep, we'll see you.